Welcome, and in this video we're going to define/simplify perfect square roots, then simplify non-perfect square roots, and finally give you one example for you to try yourself. Let's go ahead and jump right on in. So let's start by defining our square root. Square roots are factors of a number that when multiplied by itself gives the value that is inside of our radical. And let's look at an example. Here we have the square root of 49. Now 49, when we think of our factors, two come to mind, and that's 7 and 7, or 7 times 7. That is my pair that when I multiply it by itself, gives me 49. So the principal square root of 49 is just 7. 16 is very similar in that it is a perfect square. And so I end up with 4 times 4, because that's my pair that is the same, that multiplies to give me 16. So the principal square root of 16 is 4. Now let's look at examples that are not perfect squares. Let's look at our first example of a non-perfect square root in the square root of 12. Now I just need to pick two numbers that multiply to make 12. 4 and 3 are a good factor pair that multiplies to make 12. And 4 is a perfect square and it can reduce down to 2 times 2. And I always learn that couples go out and singles stay in. So my couple of 2's comes outside and my single 3 stays inside of my radical. So the square root of 12 is 2 times root 3. Now let's do the same thing for 45. 45 is 9 times 5. And 9 can reduce down to 3 times 3. 5 is already a prime number, so I cannot reduce that. And same sort of process. Couples come out, so a couple of 3's. And the single 5 stays in. So 3 times the square root of 5. Let me give you an example for you to pause and try on your own, and then you'll see the full explanation as well. So for your example, let's do the square root of 150. Now remember, pause the video if you want to try it on your own, because I'm now going to go over an explanation. So let's say you encounter a problem where you're unsure of a perfect square factor. And you're so unsure that you just know that 150 is 15 times 10. That's okay, because we can now just keep breaking down our numbers until we find out our pairs. So let's start with 15. 15 is 5 times 3. And I cannot break any of those down any further. So let's move to 10. Well, 10 is 5 times 2. We're locating our pairs. So once you break something down, you can kind of get rid of it. And now what's left is I have 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. And there's my pairs right here. So a pair of 5's, that comes out. And then I have two solo numbers, a 2 and a 3. When I have more than one solo, I'm just going to multiply them together. And then keep them underneath that radical still. 2 times 3 is 6. So the square root of 150 is 5 times root 6. So look down if you paused it. Did you get it yourself? If so, good job. If not, just practice a little more. That brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, and have a great day.